Malaysian 370, contact Ho Chi Minh 120.9. Good night.
Good night, Malaysian 370.
Breaking news tonight, a Malaysia Airlines flight with 239 people on board, including 4 Americans, has gone missing.
From the Hindu scripture, the Bhagavad Gita, Vishnu is trying to persuade the prince that he should do his duty, and to impress him takes on his multi-armed form and says, "Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds."
Did see it coming. He wrote the following back in 1995, and we quote, "I have a foreboding of an America in my children's or grandchildren's time when the United States is a service and information economy, when nearly all the manufacturing industries have slipped away to other countries, when awesome technological powers are in the hands of a very few, and no one representing the public interest can even grasp the issues, when the people have lost the ability to set their own agendas or knowledgeably question those in authority, when, clutching our crystals and nervously consulting our horoscopes, our critical faculties in decline, unable to distinguish between what feels good and what's true, we slide almost without noticing back into superstition and darkness. The dumbing down of America is most evident in the slow decay of substantive content in the enormously influential media. The 30-second sound bites now down to 10 seconds or less, lowest common denominator programming, credulous presentations on pseudoscience and superstition, but especially a kind of celebration of ignorance. Roll that around for a while. Those were among his final published words. He died 10 months later. Here we are 25 years later, realizing just what he was trying to tell us back then.
Welcome, everybody, to the live stream chat. We are doing it. We are doing the thing. We are doing the thing. ZPE Disclosure 2025. Can you believe it? Holy crap. Do I have a great show for you tonight, guys. Right off the bat, FBI Deputy Director Dan Bongino just followed me on Twitter like 30 minutes before this live stream. What? I'm pretty sure FBI directors don't generally follow targets around. So I want to say I'm probably safe from going to prison. But, who knows, chat? Who knows? I'm also just going to throw out a lot of big people have randomly been following me that I've just randomly noticed. Like Barry Weiss. Barry Weiss just randomly followed me as well last night. So, shit, maybe I should have just been getting involved in politics sooner. What was I doing this whole time? I was being an idiot talking about science that nobody understood. All I had to do to get attention was just start debunking schizos on the internet. That's all it takes, apparently. Way easier than I thought. I thought I had to teach people quantum mechanics and electrical engineering. All I really had to do was just go, oh, these people are all insane. I don't know what they're talking about. Next thing you know, I got people calling me Zionist shill. I got FBI deputy directors following me. Absolutely amazing. So, real quick, for Dan Bongino, if you're out there, this is all you need to know. There are MH370 files that are being classified by the United States government. Yes, the United States government ran a covert operation against Malaysian Airlines Flight 370 on the night of March 7th, 2014. The exact location where it happened is the Nicobar Islands. In fact, we have it narrowed down to a 100-kilometer zone based on the Gorgon Stair wide area motion footage that I'm about to play right now. This footage was recorded by an MQ-9 Reaper drone, and it relayed through satellite NROL-22, which you can actually see right here in these coordinates. You can see the coordinates, and you can see NROL-22 right there. That's the relay satellite that was communicating with the drone when they were running this operation. No, this footage isn't fake. It's not AI. Nobody made this footage. There is no hoaxer of it. This is quite literally Gorgon stare wide area motion imagery. It's military surveillance. Now, am I 100% sure what's happening to this plane? No, but I'm pretty sure that it's a thermonuclear weapon that's being used on the plane. Polyhedral configuration using plasma as the fission trigger to ignite the fusion lithium ion payload on the plane. And chill out for a second. Chill out because you're about to see some crazy shit here. Poof. Plane is gone. Did it get annihilated? If you want to believe the plane got annihilated, if that's easier for your brain to understand, go ahead. I don't care. Fine. The plane got annihilated. Sure, whatever. Most likely that's a wormhole. Most likely they put so much energy into a confined space. It's inertial confinement fusion. It's called Sigma 11 in thermonuclear classifications. Magnetohydrodynamics, the plasma is Sigma 1. President Barack Obama definitely had a report on his desk that is super classified related to that operation. Now, if you want to bring down President Barack Obama, literally just get that file declassified and it's the end of President Barack Obama. He's going to prison. In fact, a lot of people probably are. And if you want somebody to be the special prosecutor or whatever, I'll pass the bar. I will literally just pass the bar, make me special prosecutor, and I will destroy everyone who's been hiding this technology, hiding these weapons, whatever. But that's up to you. You can do whatever you want. Just to show you how legit this is, Dan Bongino, if you're out there, I'm just going to go ahead and play the second video for you here as well. This is another MQ-9. The first one is presumably recorded by an MQ-9. This one, we can just literally see the MQ-9 Reaper. This is a color FLIR video. It's been identified as a Lightning G4 by Northrop Grumman. That's the camera. Nobody in a million years could have faked this video. Nobody. Not even with AI could you fake this video. That's how insanely detailed this video is. And this is the video that shows us that we're looking at fusion propulsion and an aneutronic fusion weapon when the plane zaps away, because we see it black in the color FLIR. If it was an explosion, it would be white hot. But since it's black, that means it's releasing X-rays that's outside of the spectrum that the color FLIR is able to pick up. Okay? Do you really need more evidence here? You can literally see the air conditioning manifolds through the skin of the plane. That's what those yellow spots are on the plane. That's the air conditioning system in the plane. There's no chance in hell, not even a 0.1% chance that this video is fake. None. I understand it's hard for people's minds to accept, but you will start to learn that it's real. Okay? So there you go, Dan Bongino. That one's for you. A little something for you today. I feel like all we need now is Netanyahu to follow me. And then there's no way I'm escaping the allegations. I got FBI deputy director, and I'm literally influencing Netanyahu, who's talking about woke right equals woke left. How many people were saying that before I've made that popular in the last 3 weeks? By the way, that 7K payment thing that everybody's talking about, that's fake, chat. That's fake. It's actually only $700 per post. Only $700 per post, guys. No, actually, I'm gonna start a tab. I'm an idiot. I've been doing this for free. Because honestly, I just like playing on the underdog side, right? The whole schizo Israel people are the people that are like, they obviously have a major advantage. I like helping the underdog out. So I'm just helping out the Israel people just for free. But I'm gonna keep a tab going. So that you can, pay me later on after this is all said and done. Because I like money too. I like money too, chat. All the people I want to say, one thing is crazy is that these schizos that are like obsessed with Israel, I have never realized how bad this problem was before the last few weeks. But like, wow, it's really, really bad. And they all play the victim all the time, but they have no shame about lying. People like Candace Owens, Ian Carroll, no shame whatsoever. Like, all their stuff gets proven wrong. Max Blumenthal, all gets proven wrong, and they don't even skip a beat. They don't skip a beat at all. They just move on to the next fake thing. They never address that they lied or anything like that. And the crazy part is then they claim that they're being victims when people are like, dude, you just lied and now you're just moving on to the next thing. Like, no, now you're victimizing me. This means that I'm even more truthful. Candace Owens yesterday was saying, oh, you can't believe this. She says, TPUSA, like Charlie Kirk was turning on TPUSA and he was secretly going to bring her back. He was about to bring Candace Owens back. He only told her, nobody else knew. She decided to drop this information. And by the way, she's got the secret video proof. But you only get access to the secret video proof if you have paid for this membership. And then, by the way, that doesn't actually exist. That's never going to be presented because it's not real. It's not real. But if you bring up the fact that it's not real and she keeps lying, then everybody just goes, why are you attacking her? But the craziest part, the best irony of this is all these people are doing that to me. It's just projection. Like if you go look through my replies, it's stay in your lane. Don't talk about this. Stop talking about this. You're a Jew. You're a Jew. You're sold out. You're a shill. Like literally their goal is to get me to stop talking. Like they just admit that's what they're doing. They're literally admitting they're trying to get me to stop talking. So it goes to show that all of their emotion is just projection because they're the woke right. Well, really, honestly, let's be honest. They're more like the woke left, right? They're the woke left. They're just pretending. They're just LARPing to be right-wingers. Everything they do is projection. And I'm going to show you guys some of that here today. Okay, guys. Now, Schumer shutdown. We got a lot of news to get through, a lot of stuff to talk about. First, right off the bat, Schumer shutdown. Oh, before we get to that, I want to point this out. For the people that are saying, stay in your lane. No, politics is my lane. Politics is my lane. Nobody is an expert on politics just to begin with. But if somebody is an expert, I'm more of an expert than you are. I'm smarter than you. I'm better at politics than you. I know politics better than Ian Carroll ever will in his whole life. Ian Carroll's made like 7 incorrect predictions in the last 6 months. He's never actually been right about anything. He's literally never been right about anything, including his claim that there was going to be boots on the ground in Iran. That's how stupid Ian Carroll is. So if you're one of these guys' followers, like you have fallen through the rabbit hole. You are a moron. I am a politics expert now, and you will respect it. Get your apology forms out, chat. Get your apology forms ready. You will respect Ashton's brilliant political takes from now on. And by the way, stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. Your lane is driving Ubers. My lane is 0 Point Energy, politics. Literally everything is my lane. Your lane is driving Ubers to bring me my food. So stay in your lane. Stay in your lane out there. I love it, chat. Oh, and if anybody disagrees, well, then get Dave, what's his name? Dave Smith? Dave Smith, he's your master debater. My master debater, Dave Smith. Hold on, chat. This is a real video. Actually, an anonymous source sent me this video of Dave Smith being dog walked by Candace Owens. Here we go.
Fuck out of here. Shit, I can't believe Jesus. You guys are here. That's fucking crazy.
There you go, chat. There you got some very real video of Dave Smith getting dog walked by Candace Owens. So if he's got a problem with it, well, I challenged him to a debate. I challenged him. Get your master debater, chat. Go get him. Go get him. I'm ready anytime he wants. Okay, the Schumer shutdown. We're not going to talk too much about the Schumer shutdown, but the government is shut down right now. Has anybody noticed? No, nobody really cares. Honestly, I don't know what the Democrats are thinking on this. As a Republican, I'm a registered Republican. As a registered Republican, I want to point out we don't give one crap about the government shutting down. That is a net win for us. So you got Hakeem Jeffries getting memed on and crying over and over about how he's getting memed on. The memes will continue to happen until morale improves. And then you've got J.D. Vance today saying that he promises the memes will stop if they sign the bill. The memes will only stop when he signs the bill. I don't know what Democrats are thinking, but they have no leverage whatsoever. None at all. There is absolutely nothing the Democrats can say that will get the Republicans to ever sign their bill. And by the way, I looked at the details of the bill. It was posted on Twitter. It is 100% funding illegal immigrants. 100%. No question about it. Definitely is. And the Democrats were literally giving asylum seekers Social Security cards. So there's no ambiguity. They're literally funding illegal immigrants. Get them out. We're not going to pay for their crap, because where do you guys think the money comes from for all this? It comes from taxpayers. So get them out. Bye-bye. There's no chance we're going to sign it. In fact, I would go so far as to say that the Republicans should actually take more away at this point. It's not the Republicans that need the government to come back up. I mean, I'm pretty sure Trump's the one that gets to decide what we cut first. So sounds great. I mean, it's a beautiful situation if you're a Republican. So if the Democrats, I would make the Democrats literally beg. Make the Democrats beg to get a bill. Because leave the government shut down for all we care. It actually doesn't even shut down the military as far as I can tell. So that's really all I want to say on the shutdown. You don't really need to worry too much about it because it's a win for us. The Democrats can talk, but nothing's going to ever change. There is 0% chance that any Democrat bill that funds illegal immigrants or anything in any way ever gets passed. Ever. Okay, so now we're politics experts. So you see that political take right there was a genius political take. And it only took like 2 minutes. So get the apology forms out, chat. Get the apology forms out. Somebody wanted me to show this Jimmy Dore video. So recently, Jimmy Dore, I went on Jimmy Dore, and I'm just going to let loose here. Jimmy Dore is a complete and total moron. And when I was on his show, I could tell that he was like half paying attention, not even really listening to what I was saying. And I got the very distinct impression that he didn't believe a single word that was coming out of my mouth. Right? I'm pretty good at telling when I listen to these podcasters who's interested, who's not. And Jimmy Dore also canceled on Nick Fuentes recently, which is crazy to me. I would love to talk to Nick Fuentes. I don't really agree with him on those topics, but I just think it would be a great conversation. And Jimmy Dore is gatekeeping Nick Fuentes while he's having Max Blumenthal on his show. Bro, you've got Max Blumenthal, a guy who we just found out yesterday. This is from today. This video is from today. We just found out yesterday this guy is a fake propagandist journalist. Max Blumenthal, I'm just going to be as clear as I can. He can sue me if he wants. He's a phony, fake journalist, propagandist that does nothing but lie. And people are saying that he's a Russian shill. I don't care if he's a Russian shill or what. He's just a liar. He's just a liar. He made up a completely fictitious story about some meeting and Charlie Kirk being offered all this money that made this complete phony conspiracy theory up. Invented a fake phony conspiracy theory to blame Israel for Charlie Kirk's death. Let's be real. It's 100% fake. If you still believe that fake story, you really got to take a hard look in the mirror in terms of how you consume information. And the best part is that just yesterday, 2 days ago, the letter gets released. Benjamin Netanyahu had talked about this letter, saying that this letter proved that Charlie Kirk was still loyal to Israel. It's a letter from May. And this guy misrepresents the letter, claims that, and so did Candace Owens. They claim that that Netanyahu's lying. They both claimed that there's like a mashup of Candace Owens just literally saying that this letter is great. In fact, I might even play it here. And it turns out the letter gets released, and we looked at it. It's the exact opposite of what they claimed. Exact opposite. The letter is gushing over Israel and literally giving Netanyahu advice on how to propagandize social media to help influence people to follow Israel. It's the exact opposite of what they had claimed. And so what does Candace Owens do? She talks about it for like 30 seconds, basically just ignores it and just moves on with the next grift, moves on with the next lie. So here's Max Blumenthal. I don't even know. I didn't even really watch this whole thing. Let's just watch a few seconds of it.
Israel for Charlie Kirk's assassination? I know a lot of people do. And I wonder how many people at the Talking Points USA, not the people in the leadership, but the members, the rank and file college kids, because they're already turned against Israel. And
so here he is. Like, this whole thing just got debunked. And here he is just pretending like everybody thinks Israel killed Charlie Kirk. No, if you think Israel killed Charlie Kirk, you are mentally ill. You are literally mentally ill. There's no evidence whatsoever that Israel was involved in it. And it should be really suspect that a situation that has no relationship to Israel whatsoever, that if you talk about it, you get a bunch of people calling you a Zionist shill. Obviously, they're trying to pin Israel on it. Obviously, that's why you get people claiming you're a Zionist shill. If they weren't, that wouldn't be happening. That wouldn't be happening if that's not what their intentions were. Let's skip ahead a little bit.
And
by the way, this guy, how can you trust anybody that looks like this? How can anybody trust anyone that looks like this? This guy looks like he's been through 3 generations of inbreeding. He doesn't have a chin. He doesn't even have a chin. Guy looks like he just rolled out of bed.
All these sorts of figures. And so now Netanyahu or someone close to him has released this letter that Charlie Kirk supposedly delivered to him in the weeks before his death, basically advising him on how to improve Israel's image. And he's basically saying, you have to do it yourselves. Stop counting on us to do it. It's sort of embarrassing for me. And stop trying to use us to sell your war with Iran. And it's being framed by Bill Ackman and other pro-Israel elements as evidence that Charlie Kirk was just a dyed-in-the-wool Zionist to the end. But it really shows the conflict at the same time. It's a weird letter. It's a digital reproduction with no date on it. And it's...
What? That's interesting. The letter is gushing over Israel. It's an HJ in the background, guys. It's literally saying, how can you propagandize social media even more? And now he's trying to go, but no, you didn't read the right parts of the letter. And there's no date on the letter. So maybe it's not real now. How can you be such a scumbag piece of shit like this? I literally do not understand how people can be so dishonest with a straight face. I was staring at this, by the way. He might be reading off a teleprompter. It seems like he's reading off a teleprompter in this video. Watch his eyes. They kind of move like this a little bit, like he's reading right off a teleprompter.
It's not how Netanyahu initially framed it when he attempted to claim the legacy of Charlie Kirk and before suspect.
You notice all the blinks as well? Do you notice how many times he's blinking like this? That's what liars do. It's a tell. It's a tell in poker. Is when people are lying, they have to do this weird thing with their mind so that they don't show emotion. And so you'll see them do a lot of this weird stuff too. This guy is one of the most untrustworthy people I've ever seen in my whole life.
Was even arrested. This was in a video message, blamed the radical left and Muslims in the U.S. to try to spin it against Israel's enemies. I mean, that has failed for Netanyahu. And since then, he's had to come out for some reason. He felt compelled, not once, but twice, to deny.
Anyway, that's enough. I don't want to get copyright strike by Jimmy Dore because he's a douchebag. Plus, you should never trust anybody that puts all their content behind a paywall like Jimmy does, but whatever. Obviously, Jimmy, these guys clearly have an agenda. You can consume whatever content you want, guys. I mean, go ahead. Watch me, watch them, watch whatever the hell you want. Just be aware when you're listening to liars and grifters on the internet that you can't take them at their face value. Max Blumenthal has zero credibility. He'll never have credibility for the rest of his life. Never again. Jimmy Dore just basically platforms grifters and scammers and liars. So it's not really a loss. In fact, I don't really recommend you watch my interview on there either, because guy's kind of a trash bag. Okay. One more thing I want to bring up here. A lot of people ask me, Ashton, why aren't you attacking Alex Jones or Harrison Smith? Well, Harrison Smith has pretty much backed off of all this. And people were asking Harrison Smith, and he said, we just report on whatever's out there. And this is what I was telling you guys the other day, is that this is what their job is. Basically, these guys they report on conspiracy stuff no matter what. So that's part of the reason why I haven't been nailing them. People also said, what about Clayton Morris? Clayton Morris on Redacted. They had Ryan Matta on 2 days ago. And we're going to talk about Ryan Matta here in a minute. Guy is honestly, he's just dumb as rocks. I've never seen somebody this stupid before. So it's hard to even get mad at him because it's like getting mad at a special needs kid. Like he just doesn't know better, right? He just doesn't know any better. So I messaged Clayton. I talked to Clayton. I gave my position on Clayton. He basically just asked me what my view is on the whole situation with Charlie Kirk. And I told him two things. In fact, what did I tell him? Let me pull it up. Because I want to be accurate. Number one is there is no evidence that anybody killed Charlie Kirk except for Tyler Robinson. None at all. We're going to take a look at the charging document in a little bit. Number two, the people that are pushing these schizo conspiracies, specifically Candace, Ryan, Matta, and Ian, the ones that are the big pushers of it, they are actually helping. They're literally helping Tyler Robinson. They're actually making it more difficult because they're pushing so much disinformation and misinformation. Realize that Tyler Robinson has to be tried by a jury of his peers. So if you push a whole bunch of fake shit, you might have one juror. All it takes is one juror to not believe the story. If one juror doesn't believe the story, they can have a hung trial. And Tyler Robinson can get off for the killing of Charlie Kirk. It's a very, very unlikely because the evidence is straight up overwhelming, but it's possible. And this is the main reason why Candace Owens is not Charlie Kirk's friend. She never was Charlie Kirk's friend. She is a hag and a grifter and a scammer. And she should stop talking about it because she's literally helping Tyler Robinson, which is gross beyond belief. Gross beyond belief. And she has no shame whatsoever. So when people wonder, like, why am I going to destroy these people? Why am I going so hard at these people? A, they deserve it. They deserve it. They've brought this upon themselves. And B, because they're literally helping the murderer of Charlie Kirk. They're literally, quite literally, helping the murderer, which is, it's like going out there and trying to like help O.J. Simpson out. Like, bro, what are you talking about? You got to like get down off the schizo cloud and come join us here in reality land. Unreal. Guys, I wanted Charlie Kirk to be a conspiracy, just like you. I love conspiracies. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows I'm the conspiracy guy, right? That's what they keep calling me. I wanted it to be a conspiracy, chat. It just isn't. I'm sorry. It just isn't a conspiracy. I wanted it to be one, but it's not. Is that how the gaslighting works? Did I do it well, guys? Did I do it well? See, I'm learning. I learned it from you, Dad. I learned it from you. I've learned how to beat these people because I just follow their propaganda and shit, and then I just flip it back upon them. Sorry, guys. I wanted Charlie Kirk to be a conspiracy, but it's just not. It's just not. We got to move on. We got to move on from it. This whole schizo, Charlie Kirk, Israel thing, by the way, is like 90% bots. Like the moment you flip your post to verified followers only, it just all disappears. If you actually go look at the people that are posting all this stuff, it's 90% like 100 follower accounts with no profile picture where their name matches their username, right? Like it's 90% bots, 5% Indian scammers. Do not redeem. Do not redeem. Why did you redeem? It's about 4% wine moms that are just a little bit too drunk. And then 1% people that accidentally ran across Candace Owens thinking that she was a serious person. That's essentially the makeup of the people that are in this weird conspiratard Israel thing going on. And I actually saw some of the Redditors now are joining forces at the hip with these people, which is amazing to me. Please keep doing that. I almost didn't want to say anything about it because I don't want them to stop. But I literally saw, what was it, Missile Man? I don't even know what his real name is. Who cares? Some random guy nobody cares about. They're all literally like retweeting racists, like people that are like viciously, vilely racist and anti-Semitic. Like not in the ha-ha way, but in the like, are you okay kind of way. They're joining forces with open racists now. because that's how much they hate me. They finally let the mask drop and they're showing people who they really are. The woke left Redditor people are literally just closet racists that at any moment they were just waiting for their opportunity to let their racist flag fly. Absolutely amazing, man. I love it. Absolutely love it. Okay. What else we got? Let's do it. Okay. We're going to jump into, let me see what I got here. Oh, I did want to bring this up too, because people were wondering about the thing I said the other day about if these people, the Free Palestine stuff, Free Palestine, full on SpongeBob chat, Free Palestine. Yeah. These people are so dumb. They're like, why should I care about Nigeria? I only care about places that we send money to. We're not sending the money to Nigeria. Oh, wait. Yes, we are. Oh, yeah. Ooh, yes, we are. In fact, not even a small amount of money. Turns out Nigeria is number 7 on the list. $1 billion in aid to Boko Haram and the murdering muzzies, as we're going to call them, the murdering muzzies. $1 billion we sent to them, by the way, right there. And they are literally eradicating Christians. They're doing a real genocide, an actual genocide. We're literally just funding the terrorists. Now, people were saying, oh, but Israel, we're sending them weapons because the red here means military aid. Yeah, we're giving Israel, who, by the way, is our ally, we're giving our ally weapons to defend themselves. Then people are like, oh, this is worse than giving people money. Why? What? Hey, I don't know. Let me just do some logic for you. Hey, I got a bunch of money. What am I going to do with this money? Oh, I'm going to go buy weapons with this money. I'm going to go buy some guns with this money. I would argue money allows way more corruption to happen. At least with the guns and the stuff, we know what they're doing with it. When we give them money, they might be on drugs. They might be doing slavery. They might be buying weapons. It could be anything with money. So I just wanted to point that out. Let's take a look at, so last night, guys, I saw these posts. Ryan Matta and Ian Carroll were doing their normal grifty crap, right? And I was kind of laughing at it because this point is just so unserious. It's so unserious at this point. And I was looking at the replies, and I noticed somebody in the replies that I hadn't really seen before, which was Maze Love. If you guys are not familiar, Maze Love is a pretty big space host, and I've actually done spaces with her maybe like a dozen times. And so I saw her in the replies, and I'm going, you're in on this crap too? Really? And I had noticed that she was doing one of these spaces with Ryan and Ian, and they were promoting it with all their schizo crap. And so I sent her a message. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys all the messages right now. Here they are right here, guys. Here's all the messages. You can see Maze Love right at the top here. Guys, I need to remind you at this point that no e-girls ever, chat. No e-girls ever. I'll pull down the banner for you guys so you can see a little better. I made a mistake, chat. Made a mistake. So basically, I messaged her and said, I'm pretty disappointed in you, right? That you are jumping in with the grifters, right? And so she's like, why? Why are you so upset? And I said, you know what? You can do whatever you want. I don't want you to defend me in your spaces with these guys. I don't need you to defend me in these spaces. And I'm going to destroy Ian Carroll and Ryan Matta. In fact, I've already wiped out Ian Carroll. He's already persona non grata with anybody who has a brain. And tonight we're going to take a look at Ryan Matta here as well. And so what did Maze Love do when she received this? And then I stopped communication because I can't take e-girls chat. They want to get into your DMs and they want to have like an hour, 2 hour long conversation about their emotions and their feelings. And I just don't do that, right? No e-girls ever. So what did she do? She did exactly what every e-girl does. She went ahead and acted like a snake. The very first thing she did was she gave those messages to Ryan Matta so that Ryan Matta could make another grifty video pretending to be a victim and literally pretending that I was sending him death threats. They made up a fake story of me sending them death threats based on DMs that I had privately with Maze Love yesterday. You can't make this up. I've literally never messaged Ryan Matta before. I have not messaged or DM'd Ian Carroll since the beginning of this saga. I haven't messaged him for several months. I have no intention of messaging them. I have a lot of people's phone numbers that if I wanted to, I could message them or what have you. I don't, because I don't care about any of that stuff. So no, I'm not physically, violently threatening anybody. I never have. But I have threatened to destroy people's reputations and careers. And that's a promise. That's a promise. That's a promise. So let's take a look at what Ryan Matta has been up to, chat. Let's take a look at what this guy's been up to. Here you go. Holy shit. Here we go, chat. Charlie Kirk told executives at TPUSA that he had no choice but to completely abandon his pro-Israel stance. Then 48 hours later, he was assassinated. Guys, anybody that looks like this in their TikTok video, right away, turn it off. Right away, turn it off. This right here is grifting 101. So he's basically just taking Candace Owens' horse crap that she was pushing and repackaging it into his own TikTok videos. I'll play a few minutes or a few seconds of this, but before you do that, all I did was just type his name into Google. I pulled up his YouTube channel, and it's all Bitcoin and crypto garbage. And it's got like no views on it, like 100 views on his posts. And so then I see from the second link, there's a Reddit post about him, right? Reddit post about crypto. Turns out he's basically just a crypto scammer. He's somebody that was pushing all these what do they call them? The shit coins. He's pushing these shit coins to try to get them to bump up and make a bunch of money, right? He was one of those people, basically. Turns out that doesn't pay any money. That doesn't work. And so now he's switched to a new grift with Ian Carroll. He found his buddies Ian Carroll and Maze Love. And now their new grift is they're going to get popular by pushing this fake Israel stuff. I don't believe any of these people believe any of the words that they're saying. Now, let's just go ahead and listen, because this is not a serious person here, chat.
This just changed everything. Holy shit. Wake up, America. Shit's getting crazy. All right, check this out.
Guys, this just changed everything, guys. Changed everything. Like, yeah, I mean, this is as grifty as you can possibly be. This is as grifty as you can possibly be.
If you aren't following Maze Love 14 over on X, definitely give this woman a follow. Huge.
And I didn't even notice that he's just pointing at a screen. Oh, here we go. Look at this screen. This is like the lowest IQ slop that you can possibly do. The lowest IQ slop that is possible. Look, I've got a big screen here. Check it out. It's literally just a tweet, bro. You're just pointing at a tweet. You're pointing at a tweet. There's nothing special about what you're doing. You've actually got to be brain dead to fall for this garbage, right? Lowest IQ trash content that's possible on the internet.
Man, she's the best co-host in the game, and she's been laser focused specifically on this Candace Owens. And
anyway, okay, so this, we don't even need to watch anymore of that part. I mean, it's so awful. We already know the Candace Owens grift is nonsense, and we know that there's no video. She has no evidence, so he's posting this about, you got to check this out, and literally just nothing happens. And then is he going to apologize or anything like that? No, of course not. Of course not, because it's just a grift. It's just a grift. So let me go take a look at his profile here, because of course Ian Carroll was retweeted that. That's how I saw it. I was looking at Ian Carroll's profile. I wanted to see if he's still pushing the Schizo Israel stuff, and I see him retweet that, and I go, what the hell is this crap, dude? This is worse than the UFO community, where all these left-wing nut jobs are all retweeting each other, right? This is worse than that. This is the same thing, though. They're trying to build a little community of like Israel derangement nut jobs and harness this like low IQ people that fall for it and just exploit them for money. It's pretty disappointing. So let me pull up his thing here. Because then people start sending me this today. Did he delete it? Hope not. Well, look at all this. Look at all this trash that this guy posts. I mean, it's wall-to-wall trash on his profile, right? Where is the? Here it is. Oh, chat. Oh boy, we have the big one, chat. I guess Ashton Forbes is going around telling people he's going to destroy me. Okay, I haven't even listened to this. We're going to listen to the whole thing. Let's react. I'm a reaction streamer now, chat. I'm a reaction streamer. Here we go.
Hey, remember that crazy UFO dude who was talking about planes disappearing?
Crazy UFO dude. Good start. Yeah, crazy UFO dude. And you, by the way, are just some moron, grifter, TikTok Uber driver that literally can't even spell.
In the sky. Yeah, well, now he's threatening to destroy me and Ian Carroll. Let me show you this text that I just woke up to. This is bizarre. So he's obviously communicating with somebody over here in text, and he said
he's communicating with somebody. Yeah, somebody. Hey, do you think it might be worthwhile to point out that the somebody is literally your partner in crime in your whole grift, Maze Love? Yeah, you didn't point that out. You forgot to mention that little detail, didn't you, Ryan? You forgot to mention that the anonymous person is literally Maze Love. Okay, sure. Keep going.
This is Ashton Forbes says, don't bother.
And of course, he didn't show any of the messages before that. That's okay.
I'm going to destroy your friends, including Ian and Ryan. That must be me and Ian Carroll. And he said, but why? And he said, well, I hope you get the mental help you need. Dude, this dude is off his rocker, man. So
yeah. I'm the one off my rocker, chat. I'm the one off my rocker. Not the guy who's literally making up fake conspiracies about Israel. By the way, this guy 100% is blaming Israel for the death of Charlie Kirk.
Oh, if anything ever happens to Ian Carroll or myself,
nothing's going to happen to you guys because you're complete morons and no one cares about you. Literally, no one cares about you. Nobody who's any serious, at least. The only thing that's going to happen to you is you're going to lose your credibility. That's about it. And if we're lucky, you'll go back to being an Uber driver where you belong. That's the lane you belong in.
We get attacked in any way, shape, or form. This dude should be suspect number uno. And that really makes me question all those UFO videos and all he's finding. He's just magically this one dude who gets lucky enough to get the magic video leaked to him that magically shows a military. Like that had come from somebody in our military. He would have had to leak that video, and he just got that lucky to get it and become this whistleblower. And he's leading this conspiracy about crafts and blah, blah, blah.
Okay, this is great. I love this part right here because these are the people. Ryan Matta went into my replies like a week ago and claimed that he was a big supporter of me and how disappointed he was. But he literally doesn't know anything about the videos. He claims that the videos were leaked to me. They weren't, right? They were just on the Regicide Anon channel since 2014. And he claims that I'm being a whistleblower. No, I'm not. I've never claimed to be a whistleblower. So this is the best part is these people are all complete and total phonies. What they're upset about is that I ruined their grift. They thought I was a grifter like them, just taking advantage of people for money. And so when I turned on them, they got super upset. None of them ever supported me. None of them knew even the first thing about the videos. They're low information retards. That's what they are. They grift off of other low information retards. Let's see what else he has to say.
Bizarre. And now he's so hell-bent on attacking me and Ian. Who does that? That's disgusting.
I'll tell you who does it, bro. Somebody that knows that you're grifting off of people, that knows that you're lying, that knows that you're literally defending and helping a murderer. Let's be real. Ryan Matta is quite literally helping a murderer. Can you now understand why people might be a little bit upset at you? You are helping a murderer, trying to get a murderer off. Yes, it's disgusting. Ryan Matta, you're a vile, disgusting, abhorrent human being. And the sooner you don't exist on this earth anymore, the better everybody else will be. Is that clear enough for you? Do you understand why people are not happy with you? And all you do is push clickbait garbage content for money while you're literally helping a murderer. Unbelievable.
Bro. And I think it's fucking crazy that I'm waking up to death threats basically a few hours after Candace.
Death threats? I'm waking up to... Chat, I'm waking up to death threats. Somebody said they were going to destroy me. Now my life is in worry. These people have no shame whatsoever. No shame. They're always victims. They're never responsible for their actions. This is quite literally the woke right. This is them. They are the woke left just in disguise. They pretend to be right-wingers to take advantage of people, but they're literally the people that are just claiming to be victims when they're not victims. They are the abuser. They are the ones who is grifting. They are the ones taking advantage of people, and they have no shame in their actions whatsoever. Totally, unapologetically disgusting.
Owens breaks the story wide open and tells us that Turning Point USA, in 48 hours prior to his death, Charlie wrote a letter to all of the higher up Jewish executive donors. And he said that he was pulling his support for Israel 100%.
No, that's fake. That didn't happen. That didn't happen, and that's fake. The thing that he just said about blowing the case wide open is a fake claim that Ryan Matta just made up. He's literally parroting Candace Owens, who made that claim up. This is why you're a complete piece of shit, Ryan Matta. Do you understand? I hope you watch this video so that you understand how terrible of a human being you are.
They might need my help. Okay, I'm going to state this, and I'm going to challenge Turning Point USA executives to issue a very clean statement saying that I am lying if this is not true. About 48 hours before Charlie Kirk died, Charlie informed people at Turning Point, as well as Jewish donors and a rabbi, that he had no choice but to abandon the pro-Israel cause outright. Okay.
No, he didn't. That never happened. Candace Owens is making it up. No one has to prove it. Candace Owens has to prove it. The burden of the proof is on the person making the claim. Candace Owens is making this up, and Ryan Matta is pushing the fake claim as if it's true. This is how lies form. This is how fake conspiracies form. This is what these people did, and they are 100% responsible for their own actions.
Charlie was done. He said it explicitly that he refused to
No,
be
he
bullied
didn't.
anymore by the Jewish donor.
He didn't say it explicitly.
Can you guys answer? Did he express that? Did he also express that he wanted to bring me, Candace Owens, back? Because
no, he definitely did not express that he wants to bring Candace Owens back 48 hours before he died. Again, these are just made up claims, and Candace Owens is making up new fake claims after her old fake claims fell through. Ryan Matta might be one of the dumbest people on the face of the earth, and he's also a horrible, horrible grifter.
He was standing up for himself. And then did he, just 48 hours later, conveniently catch a bullet to the throat?
And Candace just put them in checkmate because now the Turning Point team, the company, they haven't made a public statement yet. They have to. If they don't make a
No, they don't. Ryan Matta, they don't have to do anything. She didn't checkmate them. She didn't do anything to them. In fact, she has to be careful about what she says, because I'll tell you what's really going on. Candace Owens is talking to her lawyers, and she's being very careful about what she says, because it's hard to sue people in the United States for defamation. You have to have a specific claim that they made that's factual. If you just say you're just asking questions, it's easy to avoid defamation lawsuits. Candace Owens is avoiding making specific claims because she knows she's going to get sent to the poorhouse by TPUSA if she doesn't.
Public statement, then Candace is right, and they can't deny it. And if they do make a public statement, then Candace has the proof. She has the email. She has the letters. She's going to come and just drop it down.
Oh, yeah. Candace has the emails, guys. Candace has the letters. And we're going to skip through the rest of this. Candace Owens has the letters, like she had the last letters that she never released. Like when she claimed to have the letter that proved that Charlie Kirk was turning on Israel, and it turned out it was the exact opposite of what she claimed. And now she just won't address that anymore. Yeah, okay. Good luck, bro. I'm going to mail you the apology form specifically, Ryan Matta. I can't wait to watch you make your next TikTok grifty video while you're filling out the Ashton Forbes apology form. Go ahead and just preemptively check every box because you're a retard. Now, it goes worse than this as well. He's not done, apparently, because then he also claims, why would an American citizen want to destroy another American citizen? Who's trying to expose a foreign nation for assassinating an American citizen on U.S. soil? So right here is 100% proof. Then Ryan Matta, the mentally ill grifter, he's a mentally ill grifter. He's literally blaming Israel for Charlie Kirk's death. Unambiguously. Says it right there. Says it right there. He says he's saying that Israel assassinated Charlie Kirk. You can see it right there in his post. We're not even going to watch that claim. I want to show you how schizophrenic this guy is. This guy has lost his marbles. Completely lost his marbles. Look at these next posts. A source who wishes to remain anonymous. Let me make it bigger for you guys. A source who wishes to remain anonymous just sent me this DM. I can only post 4 photos. The next 4 will be posted in the comments of this post. I would like to remain confidential. Let me guess. Your source is Candace Owens? Your source is Maze Love? Or is your source one of the Redditors? I have a feeling the source is one of the Redditors, right? The weirdest part is this is just schizo AI content. And it's obviously schizo AI content. And he seems to be taking it seriously. When I read this, I couldn't tell if he's literally insane or if he's just such a horrible grifter that he has no shame whatsoever. Ashton, with his top secret clearance and expertise in JWCC integrated biodata systems, could assist in pinpointing the exact location of Charlie Kirk's assassination, using cross-referencing the Hades ISR feeds with sanitized EHR records, revealing low-altitude loitering patterns of the Leidos. This is literally they just took like random words and just stuck them together. Somebody was messing with Ryan Matta in this, and he actually thought it was real. Somebody was clearly just messing with Ryan Matta because he's an idiot, schizo idiot. And Ryan Matta actually thought this was real. If you are following Ryan Matta still after this, like you are just one of the dumbest people on the whole planet. Literally one of the dumbest people on the whole planet. These words don't even mean anything. These words don't even mean anything. Guys, I don't know who needs to hear this, but healthcare, electronic medical records, EHR, has nothing to do with ISR capabilities, which is surveillance capabilities. They're not linked in any way, shape, or form. Even if I wanted to, I don't have access to any of that stuff. I don't even have access to any of that. I don't know what this is the most schizo shit ever. And it goes on for like 4 pages, dude. Here you go. And so right off the bat, whistleblower report, conflicts of interest, nepotism, opacity, and intelligence ties to the U.S. government linking healthcare IT contracting Ashton Forbes and the Forbes family. Executive summary. Okay, I mean, this is just AI slop. You guys know that, right? You guys know this is just AI slop, right? This is AI slop. And so let me think, what was some of this stuff? Like clearly what somebody did was they just like took a bunch of stuff. Maybe they found info from me on the internet and they just mixed it all together into some weird fan fiction conspiracy thing. It's just a weird LARP, right? My favorite's this part though. Forbes resides in Los Angeles. No, I don't. I live in Minnesota. I don't live in Los Angeles. I haven't lived in Los Angeles for over 10 years. I haven't lived in Los Angeles in like 10 years. Forbes residing in Los Angeles. You know what? Hold on. Let's get spooky, chat. Should I turn the lights down? No, it's too much work. I'm going to get into my spooky voice. Okay, let's go full screen here. Full screen. Here we go. It's spooky time, chat. Forbes residing in Los Angeles, aligning with the STP's location, and is publicly known as an independent UAP researcher, promoting theories on 2014 MH370 disappearance. Blah, blah, blah. He streamed. Okay. I don't know what STP even stands for. The broader Forbes family, Ashton, Daniel, PNC, Christy, Lauren, Cerner consultant, now Sarah, appears deeply embedded in the Cerner Oracle ecosystem, particularly through clustered philanthropy. What the hell, dude? What is this schizo shit? Okay, so it keeps going. I can't wrap my head around why some UFO dude is so hell-bent on defending Israel in this situation. What else? What other schizo stuff do we got, Ryan? Okay, you can tell that this is just straight up AI slop, right? I don't even know what STP Corp stands for. STP Corp exhibits extreme opacity. No website, social media. Yeah, probably because it's just completely made up. I don't even know what STP Corp is supposed to be. Like some of this stuff is real, like things and companies, and other stuff's just completely made up. Ashton transitions seamlessly to STP post 2021 with sisters Lauren and Sarah. I don't have any sisters, by the way, chat. I don't have any sisters, just for the record. I don't have any sisters, and I don't have any sisters named Sarah and Lauren. Embedded in Cerner until 2022. Daniel Christie tie KC Finance Health Networks, potentially influencing Oracle's billion-dollar JWCC task orders. Ties to biodata. Forbes leverages his clearance for UAP credibility, claiming MH370 video showed Gorgon. In fact, I have not even brought up security clearances in like a year and a half. The only reason why I even ever brought up that I went through a background check and all that was so that people wouldn't say I was Russian disinformation. That's the only reason why I brought it up. I never once used it to claim that I have access to secret information or anything like that. I don't. Never have. Okay, so I mean, I think that's kind of oh well, here we go. Okay, let's see. Let's just try to determine. Do you think Ryan Matta took this seriously? Like, how stupid is Ryan Matta? Did Ryan Matta actually fall for this? Let's find out. I can post this, correct? You just don't mention your name or where it came from? Absolutely. I just want to say an anonymous source. I'm a small account and I'm not done figuring out the grand scheme. I don't want to blow my cover. Ryan Matta literally believed this. This is the guy that you guys are trusting for your schizo Israel conspiracies. This guy has no connection to reality whatsoever. How could somebody read that and actually think that was real? Think about how stupid you have to be sent this and actually think this is real. Why doesn't he just go and like look up any of these terms in here and realize it makes no sense whatsoever? He literally thought he was getting some private secret information. That is absolutely unbelievable if you ask me, chat. Okay. Poor Ryan Matta, chat. Poor Ryan Matta. Ryan Matta is one step away from dyeing his hair purple and joining Antifa at this point. Antifa has basically become synonymous with Free Palestine and low IQ anti-Semites. I mean, it's pretty much just the same thing. Free Palestine is basically just the same as Antifa. That's why they don't call it out. They don't call out Antifa because they're literally just the same thing at this point. It's actually just a shame that Ryan Matta's mom didn't get the news about Tylenol before she had him, because clearly she was overdosing on Tylenol when she had Ryan Matta. That's the only reason why you can explain the extreme levels of retardation that are coming from this guy. So, by the way, guys, hold up. Just in. I just got it, guys. Guys, I just got secret video leaked to me by an anonymous source of Ryan Matta pegging Ian Carroll in the butt. This is huge, potentially breaking story. Private homosexual relationship from them in the closet. By the way, ball's in your court, Ryan Matta. If you don't deny this, checkmate. Checkmate. If you don't deny these allegations, then I'll have no choice but to release the evidence in 48 hours behind my membership paywall. Behind my membership paywall. Yahtzee! Guys, this is very serious allegations, though. Very serious allegations. Why would a homosexual who's dating an Uber driver, why would he be on the forefront of the Schizo Israel conspiracy? This is very deep. Perhaps these guys are being paid $7,000 per post by Netanyahu to discredit the Free Palestine movement. In fact, that makes far more sense than any of the crap that they post. Way more sense. Anyway, like I said, stick to what you guys know the best. Driving Ubers and delivering my food. Politics, discovering investigations. It's not your strong suit. It's not your strong suit, right? Comparative advantage. Do what you're good at. Delivering me my food. And I'll go ahead and I'll do the politics stuff. Thank you. Lastly, again, remember, no e-girls, chat. No e-girls. Okay. That got old. Let's get on to some new stuff. Now, for the people out there that are not complete and total schizophrenics, I want to go ahead and show you the charging document, the literal charging document. Here is the charging document related to Charlie Kirk's death, right? Just for the record, there's no chance in hell that Ryan Matta's ever read this. There's no chance that Ian Carroll's ever read this or Candace Owens. Just goes to show how much these people are grifters. Like, this is literally like the only official document that we have out there related to the situation. And none of them have ever read it before. None of them actually ever read it before. If you had read it, now, this is not obviously all the evidence. But this is basically, they're laying out the case for why he's the guy, essentially, in this. And there's obviously more than this as well. The parts that I want to point out is there's a whole timeline here. I'm just going to read through the timeline. I'm going to try to read it pretty quick, okay? At 11:50 in the morning, at UVU surveillance, first filmed the suspect walking across the grassy area north of Campus Drive, approximately 800 West Street. Suspect walked through the parking lot, approached a pedestrian tunnel underneath Campus Drive. Before exiting the tunnel, suspect paused at the top of the stairs, pulled out what appears to be a cell phone from his pocket at approximately 11:53. Suspect put what appears to be a cell phone back into his right pocket using his right hand. So literally, this is a whole timeline from surveillance footage of Tyler Robinson from before the assassination and after the assassination. A whole timeline of it. These people have never read it, and they're the ones out here saying, the story doesn't make any sense. Well, the reason why this story doesn't make any sense to you is because you're a moron. Sometimes what's wrong is that you're an idiot and you make stupid choices. Sometimes that's the problem. And that's what's going on in this particular case. At approximately 12:02, suspect was recorded walking onto the north side of this building, walking with the same gait as they observed earlier. So now we've linked the previous suspect to this guy. It's the same person. Suspect enters the building through a set of doors. At approximately 12:15, he's observed walking up the building. At 12:15, suspect is observed walking up the stairs that lead to the common area of the building. Suspect walked to a short concrete wall that separates the common area from the rooftop. 2 minutes later, suspect climbed over the wall and appeared to crouch down on the north side of the wall on the rooftop. 5 minutes later, 12:22, suspect stood up and started running across the rooftop of the building. Okay. We have a complete and full timeline of the suspect coming to the scene of the crime, getting into position right there, and then literally shooting Charlie Kirk and then walking away, running away on the rooftop. We have it all. That's what this says right here. They have it all. So for the people that are saying, the dumbest one that I hear is, where's the video from before the shooting? They just didn't release it yet. They literally have it. It's in the charging document. That's how they know. They have witnesses. We got video. Tyler Robinson killed Charlie Kirk, and he's going to be put to death over it. I don't know how people can actually ignore this. It's crazy. So he starts running. He has a notable limp from the previous surveillance. The notable limp was absent. Suspect ran to the west side of the rooftop, runs across the rooftop, and then the suspect laid down in a position consistent with a prone shooting position near the edge of the rooftop and appeared to be facing west. Okay, so now this is where the part where he shoots him, blah, blah, blah. At 12:23, Charlie Kirk was shot. So this guy goes into a prone position. They've got it all, and then Charlie Kirk is shot. At approximately 12:23, right at the same minute, surveillance shows him suddenly running from the rooftop, sprinting north across the rooftop. This is the footage that we saw. Footage runs to the northeast corner of the building, approaches the edge, places a dark-colored item on the rooftop. This is the video that we saw. And proceeds to lower himself off the rooftop. Suspect dropped off the rooftop into a grass below. Suspect ran north near the parking lot to the east of the center. At approximately 12:24, suspect ran across the grass. Suspect appears to be carrying an item whose identity is not clear from the surveillance. Okay. So we have him entirely. And now here we go. We discovered this bolt action rifle. Rifle was determined to be a Mauser 30-06 caliber rifle. Had a scope mounted on it. They noted the inscriptions on the bullets. This is everything that you guys have heard in the news. They also notice a shoe impression on the building. So we have a shoe impression that matches the soles of Converse shoes that we saw from the surveillance footage as well. Tyler Robinson, later that night on September 11th, Tyler Robinson reached out to a family friend who contacted the sheriff's office with information that Robinson had confessed to them or implied that he had committed the incident. This incident was relayed and then sent to the FBI. They also got additional footage as well that shows him again. Investigators interviewed the family. Family said that there was a recent incident when he came to dinner in a conversation with a family member, mentioned Charlie Kirk coming to UVU. This is good because this sets the motive here. This establishes the motive. Now we say we know that this was the guy because he was literally talking to his parents about how Charlie Kirk is going to come. So there's more than this. I'm just going to leave it at that, but you guys can go ahead and check this out. This is not, I'm going to be clear here again. That is not all the evidence. That is just enough so that we can arrest him, put him on trial, and then all the rest of the evidence will be out. If you are somehow denying all this, you are not living in reality. And this is why I had to purge all of you. And for the people that are saying, I want to address right now as well, the people that are saying that I've lost credibility, Dan Bongino of the deputy director of the FBI just followed me, okay? Well, you guys think I'm losing credibility? The only people I'm losing credibility with are nut job schizophrenics that never had any credibility, never will have any credibility, and will never matter in this world. And in exchange for losing that credibility, I've now gained credibility with people like Barry Weiss, who, yes, she might be getting paid by Israel, and people like Dan Bongino, people that are actually serious people in real power that can actually make a difference. I will take that exchange every day of the week. Every day of the week, I'll make that exchange. In fact, I'm only upset that I didn't do this sooner. If I had realized that the reason why people weren't listening to me was because I was being surrounded by schizophrenics who make up fake shit all the time, I would have purged these people a long time ago. Long time ago. And if you're one of the people that thinks I'm going to lose all my followers, guys, in order for me to lose all my followers, it's going to take about 5 years. And by the way, I'm going to lose all the schizophrenics before I lose all the real people by a wide margin. Okay. What do we got? Puthoff emails time, guys. Puthoff emails. So I got a response back from Hal Puthoff. Finally. In fact, 2 days after we did a live stream, I think it was last week. 2 days later, I didn't think he was going to respond, right? I sent him that long email, and all of a sudden I see an email from Hal Puthoff. And I'm like, okay, let's check this out. Well, let's take a look. We're going to read the emails. Here we go. So if you've forgotten, I will paraphrase the last email, and then we'll take a look at the new ones. So the last email, it was like, don't play any games. I know you're hiding this technology. I literally don't care. I don't care about disclosure anymore. I just all I want is for you to do the right thing and tell me about, tell the truth about MH370, right? Tell the truth about MH370. I know he knows the videos are real. And so then all of a sudden I get this response. Oh, crap. I didn't mean to stop sharing. My bad. I get this response from him here. Oh my God. StreamYard has got this crazy bug right now. Okay. What the hell? There. Okay. Whatever. Says, I have no idea about MH370. Have not followed the discussion. Okay. Let me just go ahead and say bullshit. Bullshit, you don't know about MH370. Bullshit, you're not following discussion. And bullshit, you don't know the videos are real. Hal Puthoff claiming to not know the videos are real is kind of like, somebody made this point. I'm stealing this point. This is like Hal Puthoff saying that, being like Yoda saying that the Force isn't real. Hal Puthoff's the world's leading expert on 0-point energy. I've been talking about him nonstop. He got on Joe Rogan because I've been making him famous. That's the reason why he got on there. Go look at the comments on the Joe Rogan interview with Hal Puthoff, and half of them are saying, when are you talking to Ashton Forbes? Because I literally was making him famous, and I was literally telling him. In fact, I'm the one who told Joe Rogan to talk to Hal Puthoff. I have the DM. I literally have the DM from Joe Rogan. But I sent it to Joe Rogan and said, great. My last post to Joe Rogan was, fine, you don't have to have me on. Talk to Hal Puthoff. That was it. Okay? So for Hal Puthoff to say that he doesn't know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about 0-point energy, this is essentially the equivalent of Yoda going, yeah, sorry, the Force isn't really real. The Force isn't real. Never mind. So then I respond. I'm going to read my whole response to you guys here, okay? I'm going to read my whole response. Dr. Puthoff, you and Charles Chase are the two engineers I respect the most in this world. This is all true. I'm not sure about much, but I am sure the CIA zapped MH370 into a wormhole using what I can only describe as an aneutronic thermonuclear weapon. I could never have figured it out without you, and the color FLIR proving the flash is X-rays, hence black. I owe you for that, and that's why I'm giving you a pass. even though there's no way you don't know about this technology. The plane was loaded up with lithium, and I can see 3 plasma fusion propulsion orbs with their Spheromac reverse field configuration and axial jets being used as propulsion, converge in perfect equilateral formation before the plane disappears. It's definitely, technically, a thermonuclear device. Polyhedral configuration, just like Matt Visser's wormhole, to minimize the negative energy requirement. By the way, this is all like, this is all straight from Hal Puthoff's mouth or from his people that is his closed circle. All this information is. Then I say, am I supposed to believe that you're not aware of Sigma categorization for thermonuclear weapons, specifically Sigma 1 for magnetohydrodynamics and Sigma 11 for inertial confinement fusion? Your patent from the 90s is a quantum communication device that can be used to control plasma fusion drones. Let me repeat that. This is me telling Hal Puthoff. Your patent from the 90s is a quantum communication device that literally in there says that it can be used for communicating through plasma. I highly doubt that's a coincidence. I know that this video is Gorgon stare wide area motion imagery. I showed it earlier on the stream. I know it was a covert operation. I know Edward C. Lynn leaked the videos and went to prison over it. I've learned a lot from you and Eric W. Davis. In retrospect, more than I wish I ever knew. This is true. I wish I didn't know all this, chat. It bothers me that you and Jay Stratton blocked Salvatore Pais from getting the team together. Shout out to Salvatore Pais. If you did not watch the most recent interview with Salvatore Pais, where he just straight up says Hal Puthoff, Eric Davis, Jay Stratton, and crew are the ones that prevented him from getting his team together to do his high energy electromagnetic field tests. The DIRDs, the Defense Intelligence Reference Documents, were on the secure server for a reason. I have a feeling they were the insurance policy for if the technology ever leaked to the public. That way, the government can claim they weren't really hiding all this science. We just didn't take it seriously. And now this is when I get serious. When did you all figure out teleportation? Was it during the NASA Breakthrough Physics Propulsion Conference or sooner? Was this all Frank Mead's idea or someone else? Hal Puthoff knew Frank Mead very well. His paper on laser propulsion for constant momentum is one of my favorites. True story. Paul Siz was also clearly involved. I wish I could have met him. He seems like such a nice guy. Very true. I'm convinced at this point that aliens are just a distraction from the technology and that you and the other Black Project engineers have developed because the USG and the CIA are using it to maintain supremacy over the world. I don't really want to do this anymore. I hate the position I'm in. If you aren't playing dumb, then help me. I just want answers. The reason why I said that is because if he's not playing dumb, he has no excuse to not help me out. If he's somehow not involved in all this, if I'm somehow wrong about all this, then the response that I would expect is for him to say, whoa, no, I have no connection to this. Like, compare and contrast Garrett Modell's response to Hal Puthoff's response. Garrett Modell's like, I'm not sure about this. You can't use Casimirs to make thermonuclear weapons, right? That's how somebody responds when they don't know anything about it, because they just want to help you. They're just, why wouldn't you? You'd be like, oh, this guy's, clearly he's off his rocker, but I'm going to help him out. He might need some assistance. Tell me that humans aren't ready for this technology. Tell me that this is the price we pay to keep America safe. Better yet, tell me the truth. What is the nature of this reality? Are we in a prison? Respectfully, Ashton Forbes. So how do you guys think he responds to this? I mean, this is an extremely detailed email. I mean, I'm calling out people by name here, people that he knows personally. I'm calling out the technology specifically. I'm even referencing the DIRDs here. He talked about the DIRDs on Joe Rogan. He's the one that talked about them. I've read them, and there's no way he's not involved in that technology in those videos, because the technology in those videos is literally from the DIRDs, like page by page. wormholes, warp drives, aneutronic fusion propulsion, ER equals EPR. All of it is from the DIRDs, directly from the DIRDs. That this guy, Hal Puthoff, is the one that commissioned through the DIA, the Defense Intelligence Agency. So what was his response? Again, I am not aware of the tech you describe. What? Hold up. You're not aware of the tech that I'm describing? Yes, you are. You definitely are aware of the tech that I'm describing. You're the one who I learned it from. I learned it from watching you, Dad. I learned it from watching you. This is such a crazy reply that I don't want to be like reading too much into it. But the only way I can take this is that he's like sending me a message that he can't talk about it. It's so crazy. Of course you're familiar with this technology. I'm literally talking about your friends. I'm talking. Eric W. Davis is literally his right-hand man at EarthTech. What do you mean you're not familiar with it? Actually wild. I literally called him out in a very specific story about how he gatekept Salvatore Pais. Bro. Come on, bro. Come on. Don't do me. Hal. Can I call you Hal? Dr. Puthoff? Don't do me like this, bro. Don't do me like this. So I haven't responded, and I don't know if I'm going to, because when you get a response like that, you know for sure, like, he's not going to say anything, right? And it actually makes me think more about the only Charles Chase response I got when Charles Chase answered some questions for us. And the answer to those questions were mind-blowing. If you didn't see, go look at the live stream. It's called like Charles Chase Speaks or something like that. Go check that out, because compared to this, quite a different response from Charles Chase, but he was still guarded about what he said. But Hal Puthoff knows, and the thing is, we know Hal Puthoff knows. Hal Puthoff has admitted that he has secret information that he's going to take to his grave. He's said that publicly. He's publicly said that. So for him to say something like this, to me, the way I take that is he knows the videos are real, and he just can't talk about them legally. He legally can't talk about them, which makes sense. These guys, at a bare minimum, guys, keep in mind what's going on here. We're talking about Gorgon stare wide area motion imagery. We're talking about thermonuclear weapons that are completely unknown to the public. And we're talking about they hid fusion. And not only that, they hid fusion, which is essentially free energy for the world forever. On top of all that, they didn't tell us that their fusion bombs were literally bending space-time, polarizing the vacuum. They literally just forgot to mention, we made super nukes. We made super nukes that are so powerful that they literally manipulate the fabric of space-time. Just forgot to mention that. So yeah, we're talking about secrecy levels where literally even Dan Bongino, FBI is not going to have access to this. The FBI is not going to have access to this. But why then do I reach out to Dan Bongino? Because the moment the FBI starts looking for this, they're going to get stonewalled. And then they're going to wonder, wait, why am I getting stonewalled looking for information about a missing plane? Why is there secret information about a missing plane? And then they're going to come back to those videos and they're going to go, oh, that's why. That's why. So if Dan Bongino is out there, find the MH370 files. And once you find them, or don't find them, you'll realize that the MH370 videos are 100% real and what happened to the plane. And then call me up and I'll come into Quantico or wherever the hell you want and I'll lay out everything for you guys. Because, hey, let's just be real. Not only are the videos are real, I know who's hiding it too. John Brennan, what are all the douchebags' names? Avril Hines, James Clapper, Obama, Marco Rubio knows, Chuck Schumer knows. How many? It's sick how many people know. So literally, we can just start taking the screws to these people, and somebody's going to start spilling the beans. Deputize me under the FBI, and I will just start taking people out. We're just going to start making mass arrests. And we will get confessions. We will get confessions. Put me in the room like 30 minutes with Marco Rubio and a bottle of water. Put me in the room with Marco Rubio and a bottle of water for 30 minutes, chat. I'll get us a full confession. We'll have a full confession about MH370 orbs. Marco Rubio will be sipping that bottle of water. If you guys don't know what that meme is, then you're not old enough. Okay. Whew. What else we got? Okay, so somebody actually went and checked out Hal Puthoff. I want to tell you guys something, okay? So please don't arrest me for stalking. I didn't do this, and I didn't tell anybody to go do this. Somebody, let's just say at some point in time, went to Earth Tech. Earth Tech is the company, Hal Puthoff's company that Eric Davis works at. This is actually the building right here. It's partially a dentist office. And he said that there was like cars in the parking lot, but there was no lights on or something like that. Well, that's not abnormal. This is basically just a front. Like they basically just have a building. Technically, their company is registered there. They probably sometimes meet there, but almost never. And I'm going to tell you why. These engineers, the Hal Puthoffs, the Eric Davises, what they do is they travel around the entire world, mostly United States, but the entire world, and they take contracts. So they have a contract from, it's probably an umbrella corporation underneath NASA, Lockheed Martin, Raytheon, etc. They take a contract and then they go for a couple weeks to a private lab somewhere. And they have to sign a bunch of NDAs. They can't ever talk about it. They might even have to give up their phones. They might even have to give up their phones. And when they go to the lab, they definitely do. When they go to the secret lab, you have to drop your phone in one of the bags, one of those, what do they call them? Faraday cage bags, and they just take your phone away. And anything you do in there can never be talked about. You can never talk about it. So this is what they do. So the reason why they're not like hanging out in the office is because that's not how it works. These people are all contractors, and they're being contracted by the defense contractors. And then they go and they do tech stuff for them, science stuff for them, experiments for them. This is how they figured out teleportation, right? Lockheed Martin figures out teleportation because they pull people in, and then they go do a 2-week thing or whatever. And then they finish that up. And then when they're done with that, they move on. They go to the next contract. That's how it works. I know because, well, it doesn't matter how I know. But so that's the reason why you're not going to find somebody at Earth Tech or what have you. It's not that they're hiding in the basement or any weird crap like that. It's just literally they're doing contracts all over the place all the time. And so this is why I was really interested in Aerospace Corporation. Because what Aerospace Corporation does, they're basically the parent entity that has the scientists and then contracts them out to the defense contractors. So you work underneath Aerospace Corporation, but what you're really doing is you're taking like a Lockheed Martin deal for a couple of weeks, and then you're going and doing a Raytheon deal for a couple of weeks. Then you're going to Northrop for a couple of weeks. And this is why their NDAs are just too overwhelming. Imagine doing that for 30 years. You do that for 30 years, and now the next thing you know is you've got so many NDAs, you can't talk about anything. You can't talk about any of the stuff that you did during any of those contracts. And if you ever broke those NDAs, you would be sued into oblivion. You would be put in prison. And if you're really unlucky, the military security forces, the private military security forces would just kill you. The Lockheed Martins, Raytheons, the big ones, they have their own private security that are ex-military, and they'll just do wet works on you. They'll just take you out. In fact, I thought that's who's going to take me out, and I'm kind of surprised I'm still alive, but whatever, chat. Every day is a blessing, and I love it. I love it every day. Okay. Whew. This has been a good live stream, chat. Okay. One more thing that we're going to talk about here. The generals met. The generals met. Pete Hegseth, remember the Gritty? He had a great speech. It turns out it was mostly about weeding out woke DEI crap out of the military, which I have to agree with 100%. 100%. In fact, he even says women in roles that are combat ready roles have to be physically fit. If you're not physically fit, get the hell out. And this should not even be controversial. The fact that we have people that are not physically fit, military is a life and death situation. Life and death. If somebody can't jump over a wall, then get out. How can I trust you to save somebody's life? We just reached a point where we put in like complete imbeciles, completely incompetent, unfit imbeciles in positions they should never be in, and they should have never been in. And it's happening everywhere. So I'm super glad we got rid of all that in the military. There shouldn't be any DEI coordinators or any of this garbage in the military. Get it out, say goodbye. Go find a new job, go work somewhere else. Got to be honest about that part. But the part that really interested me was Trump. Trump actually said this. So last week we talked about the drone wars and that there is a conflict that will come at some point between the United States, Russia, China, who are working on this, let's call it plasma fusion propulsion technology. Drones that are encased in a bubble of plasma. Drones encased in a bubble of plasma that use fusion with jets sticking out of them to fly around. Russia and China know about the technology. The question is, how far advanced have they made it? When they start to make the technology too advanced, the United States is going to spread the butter on the toast, as we say. They're going to shoot them down. In fact, we are never letting Iran have this technology. When we talk about Iran not being allowed to have nukes, they're talking about super nukes. They're talking about plasma-based super weapons. And they're never going to be allowed to have it. If they ever try again, they're going to get wiped off the face of the earth. It's just that simple. And I don't mean that like I don't like when people die and what have you, and I feel bad for the Iranian people, but they're just not a culture that we can trust with a weapon that can destroy the whole planet. Because they've got people that are being taught from a young age that they're going to martyr themselves and get a bunch of virgins when they die. I mean, if that's how you're teaching people, I mean, do what you want to do. You're just never allowed to have super weapons. Sorry. You're just never allowed to have super weapons. So, turned out this whole event was not all about going to war with Russia. So I was wrong on that front. Although I already said I was just speculating anyway. I just thought, this could be an opportunity where they get them all together and they talk about how we're going to manage Russia. They may have actually talked about it behind the scenes. It may have been in private settings. Maybe they did talk about it. But Trump did say something really interesting. Let's watch this video. Did I save it? Let me see. Here it is.
But I announced that, based on his mention of nuclear, and it was really a stupid person that works for him mentioned the word nuclear, I moved a submarine or two, I won't say about the two, over to the coast of Russia, just to be careful, because we can't let people throw around that word. I call it the N word. There are two N words, and you can't use either of them. Can you?
Bro, he's the. I don't mean to laugh at this, but like that, it's so funny. There's two N words, chat, and you can't use either of them. You can't use either of them, chat.
Use either of them. And frankly, if it does get to use, we have more than anybody else. We have better, we have newer, but it's something we don't ever want to even have to think about. But when somebody mentions it, that submarine started immediately thereafter. And it's just lurking, but I'm sure we're not going to have to use it. But it's an amazing, it's undetectable, totally. Ours is, theirs isn't. Theirs are totally detectable. We can detect them easily. We go right to the spot. But we have genius apparatus that doesn't allow detection. It doesn't allow detection at all by anybody above water or below water. It's incredible. We're way ahead of everybody in that and other things. As a result of the exciting renewal of the spirit of our armed forces, and that's what it is. It's really reaching that spirit, unprecedented heights over the past.
And other things as well. Man, Trump is not playing around, chat. Trump is not playing around. I mean, he is saying as much as he can legally say here. I mean, he said right away, what did I take away from that? He says, the moment they dropped the N-word, the moment they mentioned nukes, our subs were automatically going off their coast. That is a very, very serious threat. That is us putting Russia in check. That if Russia was responsible for those drones last week, that response right there was Trump saying, nah, bro, not cool. Not cool. Take your drones and send them back to where they came from. And he's saying, you can't detect our submarines. This is actually, if you've been following my work, if you've been following for the last couple of years and watching the live streams, then that should be insane what he just said. Because we know that we can detect every single submarine under the water. Every single one, everywhere they are. What he says we can detect their submarines immediately. Remember, we learned that the SOSA system, the sound surveillance system that was declassified, that system allowed us to find all the submarines, all adversary submarines, and the adversaries had no idea we knew about it. And that was declassified in the 90s, meaning it was obsolete in the 90s. Quantum devices like Hal Puthoff's patent is not just quantum communication. Quantum devices can go through plasma and salt water. These quantum interferometers, whatever you want to call them, they can penetrate salt water, meaning we can map the whole ocean depths, the entire ocean depths. That means your submarine, we can find instantly. Now, the other thing I want to point out about this, let's talk real quick about MH370. How is it that we can find a submarine anywhere under the water, anywhere on Earth, instantly, but we can't find a missing plane that supposedly crashed into the water? You're telling me we don't know where MH370 is, but you can find any submarine on planet Earth instantly? Let's do the calculus in our heads, chat. Beep, 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 boop, beep, boop, boop. Does not compute, does not compute, does not compute. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say we know exactly what happened to MH370. We know exactly wherever the hull of that ship ended up. We know where it is, 100%. Because we have quantum devices that are able to detect any submarine anywhere in the water. And our adversaries can't do anything about it. Nothing. Absolutely nothing about it. But then the flip side of it, why can't our adversaries detect us? Why are our submarines so capable that they can't be detected? And do you know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of the 4chan whistleblower from about 6 months to a year ago. They were talking about advanced Lockheed Martin submarines, specifically an advanced Lockheed Martin submarine that supposedly got too close to an underwater UFO base and just vanished. Just straight up, it was there, and then it was not there anymore. And then nobody knows what happened to it. We have advanced submarines that are just not on the books. Probably produced by Lockheed Martin, maybe by Northrop Grumman. We have submarines that probably have like advanced coating on them, adaptive coating on them, that is essentially the same as like a stealth bomber, but underwater, making them undetectable. But the other part is, how would you not be able to detect a submarine if it's moving? If the submarine is moving, how could you not detect it? It should be displacing the water, right? If you see something displacing the water, you should be able to detect it. But what if it's not displacing the water at all? What if, just like the orbs in the MH370 videos, what if we're using plasma? What if we're using oh, Little Hudakrunk. Look at you. Look at the big brain on Little Hudakrunk in the chat. What if we're using the same exact plasma technology that we use in our plasma drone orbs to fly our stuff underneath the water as well? Then you wouldn't be able to detect it at all. The plasma scatters the rays in every other direction, and it wouldn't displace the water at all, because what the plasma is doing is displacing space-time. The plasma is displacing space-time itself. The same reason why when MH370 disappears, and I'll pull it up again. When MH370 disappears, it just looks like it's just like it doesn't disturb anything. The surroundings don't get disturbed. The clouds barely move. The plane is just there, and then it's just not there, because it's gravitational manipulation. It's manipulating space-time itself. This exact same concept can be used underwater. So now, to finish off our live stream tonight, I want to show you something else. I want to show you something else here that really intrigued me. I don't remember who sent this to me. The first thing I want to show you is something that I haven't shown in a while, but it's been out there. If you followed, you've seen this before. The second orb in the MH370 videos, can I make this bigger? Comes out of the water. The second orb, watch closely, comes out of the water. I'm going to play it a few times so that you can see it. Can you see my mouse? No, you can't. Hold on. I'll switch the way I'm sharing this so that you can see my mouse. Okay, watch where my mouse is right here. You can see the orb just appear all of a sudden, clearly from the water. Let me do this differently. Right about here where my mouse is. See the orb just appear, and now it comes up through the cloud, and it combines, or it gets into formation with the first orb. This orb is clearly coming from the water. Clearly coming from the water. And it's something that we noticed a long time ago. We noticed that this second orb was coming from the water there. Now, I just kept wondering, like, what does that mean? What is the implications of that? So let me switch again. And somebody now sent me this video. It's kind of low quality, but I think that that was deployed from a submarine. I think that that orb, that plasma drone, is deployed from a submarine. And the plasma bubble around it allows it to just go right through the water, as if it's not really there. But most people, if you believe that we have drones that can come out of a submarine, you would have to ask the question, how? How does an object go from the water to the air? That's pretty damn advanced, right? Like the water is pretty strict restriction on movement. It's just going to seamlessly go through the water and then just be in the air after that. How do you pull that off? To me, the only way is plasma, but maybe there's other ways. I don't know. So let's take a look at this. Watch this video. Multi-purpose unmanned. Oh, wait, I'm going to mute it. I'm going to get copyright strike for this music. Here we go. Now look at this drone. Look at how it releases out of the water. This is literally a drone coming out of a submarine, shooting up into the air. Look at this. Now just imagine there's a plasma bubble around this drone. They're just not showing us the plasma bubble, right? When they show us the videos of this, it just looks like a normal craft. But if you just imagine a plasma bubble around this, it's just a disposable drone. And then when it's done with its short mission coming out of the submarine, they just send it back into the water and they can just collect it. So when people say, like in MH370 videos, where do the orbs go? They come out the other side. The orbs are coming out of the other side and they just fall into the water, fall into the ocean. And then they pick them up out of the ocean. There it is. So here you go. Capabilities, folks. I mean, we found this, and this looks pretty old. I mean, the quality is pretty old. My guess is this is from like 2010, somewhere around that. Oh, look at that. Would you have it? Advanced Development Program. Look at that. Well. Who's that? That's my skunk, baby. That's my skunk mascot. Lockheed Martin Skunk Works. Who would have guessed? Wow. Advanced Development Projects right there. Whew. Okay, guys, let's do some super chats. So when it comes to Russia, I pray to God Russia doesn't FAFO. I pray to God Russia does not FAFO. Because the very moment they said the N-word, you're not allowed to say that word. That's our word. Sorry, Russia. The N word is our word. You're not allowed to say that word. And the moment you say that word, our super secret submarines are now off your coast, and we've got orbs ready to go. We got plasma orbs ready to go. And next time you get in the plane, that plane may not come down. That plane may show up on the moon. So just saying, you know, believe what you want to believe. Okay, let's do this, chat. Whoo. Hey, Pill Chat. Oh boy, Pill Chat's been going wild tonight, guys. Here's the thing too, guys. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to make you feel good. The official story is not full of holes. The official story in the Charlie Kirk situation is not full of holes. It's not. There's basically no holes whatsoever. The only hole that I would begin to consider is why the bullet didn't go straight through Charlie Kirk's neck. And almost certainly what we're going to find out during the trial, they did do an autopsy. That's the idea that we didn't do an autopsy. The problem is a lot of people are making up fake things. And then they're saying, oh, I made this fake thing up. This doesn't make any sense. Well, it's because you made up something that's not true. You made up something that's not true. Again, just look at the charging document. Read the charging document. That's the claims, right? Find the hole in the charging document. There isn't one. Now, what we're going to find is they are going to pull an autopsy or a medical examiner report will be released. And it most likely is going to explain that the bullet like went in and either broke up or it like went down through his body or something like that. And the reason why I'm saying this is because Erica Kirk literally said, I think it was during the big speech, she said that they warned her not to go look at his body. They warned her not to go look at his body because it was probably grotesquely, malformed from the bullet going through his body. So that's the reason why I'm very confident on that. Very confident on it. But even if there was some issue with that, there's already more than enough evidence. Like, this is the part of the reason where it's like finding one tiny hole in the story, it's not enough. We got 4 confessions. We got a full timeline. We got DNA on the gun matching him. You need all of that to be fake, and you need to explain how they faked it. It's not a matter of, oh, they can do that. No, you need to explain specifically who did it and how. This is the difference between us. I hate that I have to keep explaining this. You have no hypothesis. And here's the thing. Somebody asked me earlier, they said they wanted me to ask and explain the holes in the story. And I said, well, you tell me first who you think killed Charlie Kirk. Because we can't even begin to have the discussion about the holes in the story until you tell me what the counter story is. And saying that, it just doesn't make sense. That's not a counter story. What is the counter story that fits with your version of the evidence? And this is the reason why nobody can answer that question. They just say, I don't know. If you don't know, then you can't say the official story is fake. You need to have some other story, and you need to show that. And this is what conspiratards do. Conspiratards never put up their version. The same with the Redditors, for example. I see some of them in the chat. The Redditors never present their version of MH370. What do you think happened to the plane? They go, I don't know. It's weird. Or they go, the ocean is really big. What the fuck does that mean? Where? Where do you think the plane is? What do you think happened? How do you think we didn't find it? You present a story. So again, this is why, and I'm not trying to be mean, but I'm going to be mean. You're not following the scientific method. The scientific method requires you developing a hypothesis, not just you poking holes in other people's stories. This is why debunkers are so stupid. If you go watch my early videos, this is what I always told debunkers, is that you have to come up with your own story. And the reason why they don't want to come up with their own story is that they don't want to hold themselves to their own standards. Because if you were to come up with a story, I'm going to poke holes in your story, and your story is going to fall apart. How do I know that? Because the MH370 videos are real. So it's easy. Same thing with the Charlie Kirk situation. If you don't have an alternative story for who shot Charlie Kirk, then you don't have anything. There's nothing to debunk. There's nothing to address. You've just made up fake things in your head, thinking that you're an expert when you're not, and you're demanding people explain to you why you don't understand how things work. That's not how the world works. So there you go. Okay. And then somebody says, how could the gun be assembled? The gun just wasn't broken down, man. They just didn't break down the gun. So these are the things that people do. They're like, hey, How did they break down the gun in three seconds or whatever? They didn't. You're just imagining things that didn't happen. That was my favorite one to debunk. That was the one that actually really began to crack people, because people have been spreading this fake idea that the gunman broke down, Tyler Robinson broke down the gun after he shot Charlie Kirk. And it turns out that was something that nobody had ever said. The reason why that fake story got invented is because they said they found a screwdriver. So maybe he put the scope on it right before he shot him or something like that. We don't know. But saying that, he couldn't have broken down the gun, therefore the whole story is fake. Well, you made up the lie that he broke down the gun. You get it? So I hope that this helps wake some of the people up, because some of you are so far down the rabbit hole. You're so divorced from reality that you really have to start coming back to the real world with the rest of us. It's gone way too far. You've absorbed so much misinformation from grifters like Ryan Matta without thinking for yourself. And don't give me the crap about how you're a critical thinker. You're not a critical thinker. You're not a free-minded person. You're just an idiot. Ignoring evidence is not critical thinking. Ignoring evidence is called stupidity. It's called ignorance. And ignorance is not a virtue. Ignorance is not a virtue. Raising Cain gives me the cookie. Thank you very much. Nom, nom, nom. Nom, nom, nom. Delicious cookie. Okay. And then let's do some of our super chats here. Thank you very much, Elon's waifu. Appreciate the $5 super chat. Whoa, Mark Scott. Hell yeah, bro. $50 super chat. Damn. Hell yeah, Mark Scott. Thank you very much. And thank you for being a longtime supporter. I appreciate you, Mark Scott. You're the bomb. Chris H. Candace has been preoccupied hiding from the bees. Chat. Chat. Oh, you know what's coming here. Oh, wait. I think I even have it set up on my thing now. This is such a good one.
You don't get to ask those questions. What's wrong with
you? Don't get to ask those questions.
Ah! Not the bees! Not the bees! Ah! Not the Polish Mormon communist bees! Ah!
Not the communist bees, chat. Anything but the communist bees. Tim Hack says, have you seen the vector analysis that proves that energy came from the mic? Oh, the projected energy weapon. Ooh, the vector analysis. And the projected energy weapons from the sewer Jews, from the tunnel Jews that came out and zapped him. Guys, I'm going to go ahead and tell you that's all bullshit too. That's all bullshit. You guys really, some of you, man, some of you, this is why, I'm glad I had to purge a lot of people, because the moment these videos are proven to be real, a lot of you are going to go straight off the deep end. A lot of you are going to literally lose your minds, and you're going to start pushing a bunch of fake shit around them. And I know for a fact that people were going to start saying that Israel zapped MH370. I could see that fake bullshit coming a million miles away, right? And this is why I had to excommunicate a lot of you from MH370X, because you've literally lost your minds. I don't mean this to be offensive. You've literally lost your minds. And you literally need to just get off the internet, stop absorbing Ian Carroll and Ryan Matta and Candace Owens content. Stop watching that entirely. Go outside and go touch some grass. Go touch some grass. Go talk to a real human being. Have a normal conversation with a real human being. Some of you just quite literally lost your minds. No offense. Walter Voss. The tie-in between the physics you have been focused on and what's happening in the world right now couldn't be more apparent. Thank you very much. And we have to be careful too, right? This is why I'm trying to be cautious about not getting us too crazy about all this stuff that's happening in the world, because we don't really know exactly all the machinations that are happening behind the scenes. We don't know. We need somebody who's level-headed. Level-headed. This is why I add a lot of humor to my stuff, because I'm trying to stay grounded, chat. I'm trying to stay grounded, because we've got teleportation technology. I mean, if you can quickly start to lose your mind thinking about what else they might be hiding, what they might be doing with this. So you gotta stay, have some level of levity. Otherwise, you just might lose it. And so this is why a lot of people have said, Ashton, at least behind the scenes, they said, you have really good mental endurance. Probably, because there's nothing that can phase me anymore. No matter what, I'm going to stay grounded, right? Even if you tell me we live in a prison planet, I'm still not going to lose my mind. Even if the ETs walk on my front door, the reptilians or whatever, and they're like, hi, Ashton, we're hanging out. I'll be like, oh, cool, bro. You want to play some Magic cards? Hey, Bijou from the Andromeda Galaxy, you good at magic? I'm gonna make it happen. Mick Leonard, thank you very much for that super chat. Great email. They will be talking about you. Oh yeah, they already have been. I mean, so this is the other thing too, guys. Like, it's not a coincidence that a lot of these people are afraid to talk about the videos, afraid to bring me up, afraid to debate me. Imagine, and I'm not saying this is what happened, but imagine in a hypothetical world, someone like Dave Smith, right? He sees me just calling him out, calling him a pussy, calling him a coward, calling him a bitch, calling him, like he's supposed to be a master debater. I'm doing that intentionally. I'm intentionally baiting him because he's talked himself up to being this tough guy debater who'll debate anybody. But then I come along and now he turns into a little kid, little pussy bitch. Why? What's he so afraid of? What's he so afraid of? He's afraid of a healthcare IT guy? Imagine a scenario where he's pretty connected. He's been on Joe Rogan. He's a pretty popular guy. He probably knows people that are in the military. There's friends, right? In social media, what have you. Imagine a scenario where somebody messages him, sends him a text message, says, those videos that Ashton guy's talking about, they're real. Can you imagine that? Somebody you trust, somebody who's in high places, maybe somebody in the administration, sends you a message like that. Says, I know it's crazy, but those videos that Ashton guy's talking about, they're real. That would scare me. If I was Dave Smith in that scenario, I would never try to debate Ashton Forbes because that's a no-win situation. Even if you win the debate, when those videos come out, Ashton Forbes is going to annihilate you. He's going to annihilate you. And you're going to look really stupid, like forever. It's going to destroy your credibility, destroy your reputation, destroy your career, potentially. This is the reason why everybody's been so afraid to talk about the MH370 videos. This is the reason why George Knapp and Jeremy Corbell won't talk about the videos. They literally have never mentioned the videos before publicly. Never. Can you think about that? Some of the biggest people in the UFO community have never publicly made any statement about the videos. And the reason why they've made no statement is because they have been told behind the scenes the videos are real. They've been told behind the scenes the videos are real. And if they were to make a public statement and come out against the videos, then their whole credibility, their whole grift, their whole careers are over, permanently over after this. And they know eventually the information is going to come out. They know eventually the videos will be proven to be real, either by the science or by the videos, or, somebody coming out and proving it, what have you. And that's the reason why they're so afraid. And what I want to say to those people right now is your silence will not protect you from my wrath. Your silence will not protect you from my wrath. The very first person I'm going to destroy is Ross Coulthart. I'm going to end his career. I'm going to end his credibility. I'm going to make sure that nobody will ever platform him on any serious news station whatsoever. The reason why I'm going to do that is because he went on TV and he lied. He went on TV and he lied about me and he lied about the videos. That's why his career is over. That's more than that. More than that. Not only that, he sent an unhinged letter, the most psychotic unhinged letter I've ever seen. 8,000 characters. 8,000 character letter to Scott Roeder, making up bullshit about how I was threatening him and my followers were harassing him. All fake. All fake. He just made it up from whole cloth. And when I exposed him, he got so embarrassed. He got so embarrassed that he threatened Scott Roeder. Scott Roeder called me up and told me. He said, Ross Coulthart just messaged me and said, I'm never talking to you again. You're blacklisted. After I posted the letter publicly, which proves that the letter was real. And Scott, and by the way, Ross Coulthart has never denied the letter ever. In fact, he's never mentioned the letter either. So Ross Coulthart will be the first person I destroy. And then after that, we're going to throw the Redditors in jail. We're going to throw, what's that guy's name? I forget. Hometown Buffet or something like that. We're going to throw him in jail. We're going to throw Embers to Ashes in jail. We're going to throw TJ, what was his name? T Powell's. I don't know. They're all stupid. I forget their names. They got dumb, stupid names. Tony Adams. We're throwing them all in prison. We're going to throw them all in prison. I love her. I just love like winding them up, chat. They're so fun. They're so easy to wind up, Okay, Zapparoo, buddy. Thank you very much, Zapparoo. And the Schizo basement reachers are still in here. I love it. I love it. Great work, Ashton. 100% on track. Hal P knows. Cool face. Fantastic email. He's responding means he's making calls. That's what's really interesting, because why respond at all? Why not just say nothing? Right? Like most of these engineers, they either send me one thing, or like Larry Forsley like won't respond anymore after he said he was going to check to see if he could do the podcast with NASA. And then he looked me up and he was like, okay, no, we're not responding. Just say nothing. Why respond at all? Right? Doesn't even make sense. Why respond at all? Levi says, Hal is hilarious. His reply is confirming everything else without breaking the NDA. I think so too, right? Like, 'cause it's so ridiculous. I'd be like, I don't know what kind of tech, what? 0 point energy? What's that? What's 0 point energy? What's a wormhole? I don't even know what that means. What's aneutronic fusion? Like, what? Like, bro, you're the leading expert on 0 point energy, like in the whole world. You got all these papers written about extracting 0 point energy and wormholes. And like, you're the only person who's like talking about this stuff. And now you're playing dumb. It's just, I can't get over how crazy that is. So wild. Wow. Pippi Universal. Hell yeah. Look at that huge donate, 500 something or other dollars, but that's a red thing. So it's gotta be a lot. Thank you very much. Trump Miley, I think. Best duo by far. Greetings from Buenos Aires. Oh, so it's Argentinian money. Thank you very much. That's so nice of you. You're awesome. I appreciate your country. And you know what? You get to be pulled into the fold. If Ashton gains political power, I'm going to give you a promise right here. We'll bring Argentina into the fold. Argentina gets to be an ally. If you don't like Brazil, we'll hit them with the super nuke. We'll take out whichever country you don't like the most. You know what? For one free super nuke for you. Just because of that super chat. Thank you very much. Going back to Cali. Thank you very much. Appreciate that donation. That's awesome. And then Narek, thank you very much. Yo, back to you, brother. Yo. Oh, and Catman, my favorite Japanese Catman. Stay cool and level-headed and ride the gravity waves, folks. Ride the gravity waves. Okay, guys, this has been an awesome live stream. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you guys all for being here. We will be back on, what day is today? Wednesday. We'll be back on Friday, probably talking about some science, probably talking about some politics, doing all the regular stuff. Give your feedback in the comments. I read some of the comments, even the bad ones. Please like, subscribe, share the stream. And if you want, I just set up memberships. Now you can call me a super grifter now. Now I've got memberships set up. So be a member if you want to be a member. Guys, we're going to play. I already played this once, but I love these videos. Shout out to Tupacabra. Tupacabra, you make great videos. I appreciate you, brother. Follow Tupacabra and Red Panda Koala. These guys have been indirect supporters of me, real supporters and real friends for 2 years. They've been friends, supportive of my content. Even if they didn't believe it, they were still supporters of my content. So thank you guys. Here are those amazing videos once again.
Out in the fields where the skies are wide, talking about a journey through the cosmic ride. Einstein and Thorne, they set the stage for a trip through time across the space age. Wormholes connect distant points in space, traversable paths to a far-off place. No black holes pull, no crushing weight, just a cosmic tunnel to a distant gate.
Talking wormholes, stargates, negative energy, travel through the cosmos, it's our destiny. MH370, where did it go? Bowling 777 through a wormhole flow. We're talking wormholes, stargates, negative energy, travel through the cosmos, it's our destiny. MH370, where did it go? Bowling 777 through a wormhole flow.
Exotic matter, negative energy's the key to stabilize the wormhole for you and me. Quantum vacuum squeezed so tight, creating conditions for this wondrous flight. Static fields and lasers in the lab they play, generating forces in a new kind of way. Gravitational squeezing, Casimir's force, negative zones we need to stay the course.
Stalking wormholes, stargates, negative energy. Travel through the cosmos, it's our destiny. MH370, where did it go? Boeing 777 through a wormhole flow.
Thin shell formalism plate so fine. Spherical geometry we realign. Energy conditions that we must defy. For a stable wormhole, let's give it a try. Forces balancing the plate, creating the throat, open the gates, from Earth to the stars in a single bound, a shortcut through space profound. Engineers and dreamers hold the key to future worlds and what we could be. With science in hand, we forge ahead through the cosmic paths that we now tread.
We're talking wormholes, stargates, negative energy. Travel through the cosmos, it's our destiny. MH370, where did it go? Boeing 777 through a wormhole flow.
From the fields to the stars, we break the chains. Understanding the universe, we make the gains. Lil Hula Crunk shines, bringing truth to light. Through his music, we'll explore the night. With wormholes and stargates, our path is clear.